Hey guys, Jason Gressman here, another episode of The Pipeline, trying to pipeline Christ across North Dakota and anywhere that have us. Today's a little bit of a funny one. I want to share a little bit on how to straighten your wife out. And I know this one's probably going to be a little rough for some people. And I want to share a little bit of a funny thing that my wife and I sometimes do. So sometimes we are not on the same page. Sometimes there's things that she's wanting or I'm wanting, and we're either not understanding each other and we're getting frustrated, or we're struggling with what the other one's talking about or what's going on. And so in the reality of life, we need to straighten it out, right? So this is how we straighten each other out. We say in those moments that she is speaking woman and I am speaking man, and the interpreter has gone home. What that means is it tells the other one that we are not on the same page. We're not on the same vision. What you're talking about, I'm either not okay with or not understanding. What I'm talking about, either you don't understand or you're not getting, and we're not on the same page. And so you got to straighten it out. And so when we've got to straighten things out, we need to be able to work through it. We need to be able to hear each other. And in this big COVID thing, like, I have seen more husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends literally yelling at each other at Walmart, in the parking lot of the grocery store. I mean, you name it. They are just at each other's throats this whole time. And so I literally straightened my wife out. I took her to our bone cracker in Dickinson, and he's a great guy. I love the guy. He's a fantastic chiropractor. And while we were in there, we were talking just about life, and he said something very profound. And Dr. Jeff said, he says, in order for someone to hear what you're telling them, they have to be willing to receive it. That really stuck with me, because if we don't have a willingness in our heart to receive something, we're not going to hear it. We're either not going to give it what needs to be given in believing what's being said. We're not going to receive someone's help. We're not going to receive some constructive criticism. We're not going to receive maybe a word from the Lord, because we've just chosen to not hear it. So that put me in Proverbs 19, verse 20. It says, "Listen to advice and accept discipline. In the end, you will be wise." When Dr. Jeff's talking about the idea that you can't hear what you're not willing to receive, this scripture is talking about that if we're going to be wise, we need to be willing to accept discipline. Now, when people say discipline, they are talking about, like, oftentimes they think about spankings, corners, people in trouble, and the rest. But if you go back to the root word in the Greek and the Hebrew, discipline means instruction. So are you willing to receive instruction, or is there a pride in you that keeps you from hearing that? Because if that pride is in you and you're not willing to hear a word from the Lord that maybe be given to you through a little child, one of your own kids, a spouse, a friend, a pastor, someone in ministry, any of those different things, if you are not willing to hear it because you don't have a willingness to receive it, you could be missing out on what the Lord would have for you. And that pride in you needs to be dealt with. And that instruction is coming to you not to hurt you, but to help you. And you need to be straightened out. Thanks for tuning in. See you down the pipeline.